WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 AM WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the intern.
Hey guys, how you doing?
A fantastic week. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get right into it. The big story of the week, Smackdown officially changing nights. That's right. In case you haven't heard, WWE has announced that Smackdown will move to Thursday nights starting January 15th. WWE Chief Revenue and Marketing Officer Michelle Wilson said in a statement, quote, WWE's sizable and passionate fan base makes SmackDown the #1 entertainment show on Sci-Fi and the most watched, regularly scheduled program among key demographics on the network. Wow, that's a lot of filler and fluff and nonsense. She goes on to say, we look forward to bringing the WWE audience to Thursday nights on Sci-Fi. Turns out you can go back home again, as when SmackDown debuted back in 1999, it spent the first few years on Thursday night. Very good. I was going to say, you were, I think, in diapers for a majority of that.
So does it mean it's going to be called just SmackDown or Thursday Night SmackDown? Because I remember it's like Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. You know, Friday Night SmackDown. Is that going to be called Thursday Night now?
I don't know. I feel like Monday Night Raw works, but Thursday Night SmackDown just doesn't. It was the same way that they had, I guess it was Thursday Night Thunder and then moved it to Wednesday Night Thunder. And well, either way, WCW Thunder just wasn't. It doesn't quite have the ring to it.
Yeah, you know you're going downhill when your most notable moment on that show was David Arquette winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, very good. Know your history.
I learned from the best.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what, you might ask, and this was actually your first question when I told you the news earlier this week, what's going to happen with NXT since they're currently airing on Thursday nights? Well, fortunately, WWE gave an answer a few hours after making the announcement. Again, WWE executive Michelle Wilson telling Variety.com that NXT and the NXT Live specials will air on Wednesday nights when SmackDown moves to Thursday nights starting January 15th. Apparently, the delay, because we talked about this months ago, that there was the pictures circulating of the giant CDL truck with the advertisement saying SmackDown moving to Thursdays this fall. And it turns out it's going to be about a month into winter before making that move.
They did announce that over the summer that SmackDown was going to be on Thursday nights. I thought they said in October.
Well, it wasn't announced. It was just a picture had leaked, and it said, yes, coming this, I forget if it said this fall or this October or this November, something along those lines. So people were waiting with anticipation. I think briefly it was moved over to Thursdays on various TV guides in the beginning of October, but it turned out that it just got moved back to Fridays. Apparently, WWE had to coordinate with officials at Full Sail University, where NXT holds their venue and programs and whatnot, to change to a different night of the week, which, yeah, probably explains the delay in announcing the SmackDown night change. They couldn't just be like, all right, we're moving SmackDown, and then have people go, what about NXT? And have people just go, oh, yeah, that.
You know, the funny thing, speaking of NXT, I'm trying to get more in depth talking about, you know, the future of our company. It looks very well.
Looks very good.
Yeah, it looks very good. I'm sorry. I apologize for the grammar mistake.
You know what? I that has been stuck in my head ever since a caller called a while back who was an English teacher actually gave me a bit of a lesson on the air. It was almost a Dean Douglas-esque moment. Teaching the
Except there
difference.
was no paddle, right?
Yeah, there was no Board of Education. No, that's very good. But he went over the difference between good and well with me on the air in a slightly embarrassing but also slightly hilarious moment. That was back in back in the Richie Bleiweiss days, to give you an idea how long ago that was.
It's almost like Matt Mira was like, "Call him, please, just do it. I want to hear this."
No, Mira. I don't think Mira was the program director when that had occurred.
Okay, then.
That gives you an idea again of how long ago that was.
So,
a lot of things tend to happen when you're the host of the longest running.
Go ahead, do it.
No, I save that for Mondays from 11 to noon when I'm on Completely Damaged Radio on Mako Radio, where music and minds meet.
You're doing a lot of shameless plugging today, sir.
Yeah.
Are ratings low for us or something? Is that what's going on?
Oh, no. I'm going for different plugs as opposed to plugging the same thing over and over and over again, as WWE is doing with the $9.99 nonsense.
Excuses. Well, I was watching NXT, and it was very fun to watch. Sami Zayn, his road to redemption finally came to an end. Well, I wouldn't say it comes to an end because of this Thursday, but he faced off Tyler Breeze, and after that match, they made it official that this Thursday on NXT, it will be Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship. Very excited.
That sounds like a very good match.
Oh, definitely does. Adrian Neville actually did say, though, he's not worried because Sami Zayn hasn't won the big one yet, and I quote, won't win the big one now.
Kind of going with the, well, I would say Peyton Manning, but he actually won one.
It's sort of funny to hear that because he called him like one of his good friends and then completely shot him down.
Kind of like what we do on a weekly basis here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, the similarities. Although, speaking of shooting down, oh man, how much you have to hate being a fan of WWE in the United Kingdom right about now. First of all, we talked last week.
We're going to get a call from Harry.
I'm sure Harry Barnett the great Harry Barnett is just chomping at the bit right now to unleash all kinds of venom over the air. He probably won't call in just because he may not be able to keep his candor on the air.
I'm doing an open challenge. Come on, Barnett. Call into the show. Let's hear it.
Don't do that.
Yes, I will.
Can I at least explain why they're mad?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'm not going to just hold you down.
This time. WWE Network delaying the UK launch. That's right. We were all ecstatic last week. Oh, it's going to be coming Monday the 3rd. They're gonna unveil it in the UK. It's going to be over the top. It's going to be grand, except roughly 20 minutes before the scheduled launch of WWE Network in the UK, WWE announced that the launch has been delayed, quote, until further notice.
It's like being handed a pizza and then being shot.
That's graphic but accurate. I was not expecting you to go in that direction.
Well,
wow.
That's really what it is. It's like here's your free pizza. Before that, here's something we have to do before that. You know.
Not fatally shot though.
No.
Okay.
Just a wound.
Just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound. I kill you. Yeah.
The only way they could have rubbed it in anymore was if they had Wade Barrett come out and tell the United Kingdom, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
You're all screwed.
That would get in some major heel heat, though.
That would. He's not even... When is he returning, anyway?
I don't know. It's whenever his shoulder's healed up.
That's, like... the thing is,
People are asking, when's Daniel Bryan coming back?
And he still hasn't regained the strength in his hand, and it's really upsetting because he's going in a good direction now, but we still want Daniel Bryan to come back. We still want Bad News Barrett to come back. Roman Reigns, especially, we want him to come back. He said he can go. He's recovered and he's been going to workouts and stuff. So that's
okay.
Good.
So his return, I don't know. Do you hold him off until the Rumble?
I wouldn't say imminent, but I would say it's coming soon. Like, I don't know. Maybe he joins.
It's in the horizon.
I would say he joins Team Cena for Survivor Series. You hear him. You just hear. So who's gonna join you now, Cena? I sound like Laurinaitis. I'm trying to be Triple H. Who's gonna join you now, Cena? Huh? Who you got? Banner. You know, the crowd goes crazy. Yeah.
That's where you're going with. Okay, I wasn't 100% sure. I I don't know. It was an interesting Triple H.
Yeah, it's not that good.
It's all right. I don't exactly do a better one, so who am I to...
You know it's bad when it sounds like Johnny Laryngitis, people power. Actually, that's a pretty good Johnny Laryngitis.
That's not a bad, but no, but that era is gone. Now we're in the authority era.
It's what's best for business.
Yes, it is. It's about what's best for business.
Because I always have a plan B.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vince McMahon issued an apology video regarding the delayed launch of the WWE Network in the UK. McMahon citing the company working, quote, through the details of the rollout and potential partnerships. However, the apology video is no longer accessible on the WWE website. This is just continued shooting themselves in the foot. Now, the network delay might be due to Sky Sports. That seems to be the, I guess, rumor and word.
Son, take a boo. Jesus Christ.
The delay apparently due to ongoing negotiations with Sky Sports, which is the premier sports network over in the UK, looking to air the WWE Network as a channel similar to the format used in Canada through Rogers Communications. However, Canadian viewers pay not $9.99 a month, but $12.99 a month, eh?
Ooh, they're a bunch of hosers. They are.
Well, the WWE is because they have to pay more.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. But $12.99 a month for the service. Plus, Rogers is only available in about 20% of the country, mostly the greater Toronto area and most of the province of Ontario.
So basically wherever Edge is from. Yeah. Edge is from Toronto.
You're saying Edge travels around on... this week, Edge hails from Timmins, Ontario, Canada. Next week, he hails from Barrie.
That's not where I'm saying.
The week after that,
that's not what I'm saying. He's from Toronto, Ontario.
Guelph.
Stop doing that. He's from Toronto, Ontario. That's where it's broadcasting to. They didn't even go to Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
No, because I think they have something else, maybe Bell Communications or something else out there. Look at me attempting to drop Canadian communication knowledge, eh?
Like it's going to get you any bonus points, you hoser.
No, it probably won't. Well, maybe with the family back home, eh?
No, family's first.
This is true. But basically, all this stuff that I'm saying is WWE pretty much saying, F you, UK. I mean, look at this.
ECW.
So, I mean, look at it. WWE prepares to go on a 10-day European tour, which is where they're at right now.
They're in the UK.
Well, yeah, including 15 of the 21 stops in the United Kingdom. So right before you head across the pond, you tease a launch of the WWE Network in the United Kingdom, only to pull back 20 minutes before launch as if you're a NASA space shuttle, issue an apology video, pull the apology video off of the WWE website, and then have your Irish-born WWE United States champion lose his title 2 days before the trip. Oh, by the way, for those who didn't see it after Raw, Rusev defeating Sheamus with the accolade to win the United States Championship. And as an added kick between the legs, you make it an exclusive for the WWE Network so the UK fans can't see it. Hopefully whoever thought all this was a good idea got sacked. I'm sorry. That just... No, you know what? No, I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry at all.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
No, hashtag just not sorry. Don't say you're sorry and then... You know you're not sorry. Just say you're not sorry. Yeah, I got a lot of hand there. You know, on to some hilarious news, though. Injury Bo Fuddles Dallas.
Go on.
I hate you. WWE announced that Bo Dallas is out with a left foot injury. He will be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks. Might we see an unbelievable return for the... You know what? You make me sick with that. I'm tired of... Bo Dallas, stop liking him. Oh.
Since you interrupted yourself with that, might we see an unbelievable return for the Royal Rumble?
I hate you.
See, if you read your notes before the show, you would have known to be able to skip over that if you didn't want to go through that. But since you don't believe in reading your notes...
I swear to God up in heaven. Stop it. Can you stop the music, please?
All right, I guess I'll stop the music.
Thank you.
Such a party pooper.
I believe that
But not believe.
Yeah, but not believe that we should go on to some...
You know what we should do? We should take an ad break. That's what we should do.
I believe we should take an ad break.
You believe we should take an ad break. I believe there are going to be some words during this ad break.
There's going to be some fist flying. Cross check on Jackass.
I am not Booker T. You're definitely not Austin.
Thanks, Book.
This, however, is Pro Wrestling Weekly, heard here on 1490 AM WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
I just don't understand why you can't have a social interaction like the good old days where you could talk to somebody and not have to worry about them taking out their phone, which you're doing right now, Fearon.
Well, yes, I'm communicating with Dan Wing to get this game up on the air.
I feel like an idiot. I apologize.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside the self-professed apologetic idiot, Lucas the I'm sorry.
It's okay, Fearon.
Maybe I'm not. No, we went over that last segment.
Sorry.
Yes, no. That time I'm legitimately sorry, but it was a great drop, so I had to.
Oh yeah, it was. Definitely.
I had to throw that in there.
Definitely.
It's about what's best for business.
Yeah.
All right, I don't even know where to go next here.
Why don't we go over some Raw results? Because I think this was, I wouldn't say a big Raw, but it's definitely added a twist to Survivor Series.
Oh, that's right, because
Vinnie Mac made his return on Monday night.
Vince McMahon.
No chance. That's what y'all got.
Were you going to talk about it, or are you just going to sing No Chance in Hell?
No, he's so Power walks down the ring and he says, if it'll be Team Authority versus Team Cena. If Team Authority loses, then the Authority will be out of power. Meaning, if you lose, you're fired.
This whole thing is embarrassing. It really is.
Yeah, there's a little cameo from Vince. How about that?
Good to hear what you think of that, Fearon.
Well, I more meant the direction they're going with it. So, what if Team Authority wins? That is
the
question that has been left unanswered.
See, the thing with the Authority is they've been sort of going after Dolph Ziggler because last Raw and last Monday night and this Monday night that just happened, they were going after Dolph Ziggler because he was seen talking with Cena. He was seen shaking hands with Cena this Monday night, and Triple H came in the ring and basically said, Dolph, I'm not going to do the voice. He's saying, Dolph,
good idea.
We're not one to punish people for siding with Cena, but just think of it.
That's not true!
But think of it this way. Who's going to take the blame if Cena's team loses? Who's going to, who's going to take all the credit if Cena's team wins? Join us, join the dark side, and you can have anything you've ever wanted. And Ziggler,
including cookies.
All I got was a stupid T-shirt.
That's usually how it goes. And you didn't even pay $9.99 for it.
Nope, sold out, and all I got was a stupid T-shirt. Anyway, Ziggler said, so I can have anything. Okay, I want you out of power, pointing at Triple H. I want you out of power, pointing at Stephanie. He said, I want you gone, talking to Seth. And he goes, all right, I see how it is. Dolph. And he gets out of the ring and, oh, by the way, you have an Intercontinental Championship match with Seth Rollins right now. I mean, I know I said we're not one for punishing, but, that's not true.
Exactly.
And it was an interesting thing. We're seeing a bit of a Randy Orton face turn. It's another big thing.
Yeah.
Near the end of the Intercontinental Championship match, Seth Rollins curb stomps Dolph Ziggler, and he's just sort of looking at him for 3 seconds, laughing to himself. See Orton come in the ring, spin him around, RKO out of nowhere.
It's very similar to back in 97, 98, where Steve Austin would just run roughshod and on Raw and just start stunning everyone.
You know what the funny thing is? It's amazing how much Randy Orton has. Even in my school, a lot of the kids that aren't they used to watch wrestling, but they've seen those vines. Kids have been RKOing each other in the hallways, and friends of mine, not unfortunately, because I think it's awesome. They've been doing it to their friends, and the hallways don't even care because it's just fine. We're just playing around.
It's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt.
But they don't.
I sounded like such a parent there. What is the matter with me?
The thing is, they don't want me to RKO them because I'm an actual wrestling fan. So I don't know why that, because I feel like it would hurt less if I did it to them, but,
John from Northeast Philly just going nuts on the Facebook fan page, the WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page. Frank Underwood doesn't believe. He put that up a few minutes ago, and then a nice picture of Kevin Spacey there. In reference to Survivor Series, he says, so it's basically John Cena versus 5 guys, and Cena will win.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think. See, that's
I don't know. Those bacon double cheeseburgers and those Cajun fries are. Oh wait, not that 5 guys.
See, that's the thing, though. It's a twist because if the Authority loses, they're out of power. But are they really? Would they really pull that off? Would they really have? Like, I know Cena would probably win, but wouldn't they? Would they really just disband the Authority just like that?
I don't know. Steph will maybe go home, take care of the 3 kids. Who knows? Maybe they'll try for a 4th.
But I would think that Triple H.
I don't know. I'm not exactly a family planning expert.
Yeah, there needs to be an authority figure. I would think that the Authority would win. Or maybe it could just be like the Authority turns face at some point again.
I'd be okay with, and this is the old school person in me coming out, I'd be okay with just having an authority figure that's just there to enforce things and not necessarily be pro-face, pro-heel. Just come out maybe once every few months, make a major announcement.
Like a Teddy Long?
Well, I'm going even older school than that and thinking more like a Jack Tunney.
Oh, no, don't say Jack Tunney. He was terrible.
Jack Tunney with charisma, though.
Jack Tunney with actual, leadership skills and not being a bumbling idiot.
Tunney wasn't a bumbling idiot.
He was one. I learned this from the network for just $9.99 that Tunney was the number 3 worst general manager in Raw in WWE history, or president, or authority figure.
Oh, authority. I was gonna say he wasn't a general manager. He was the president.
Jack Tunney was very, very bad at his job.
You've been watching a lot of OSW Review, haven't you? Yes, but that has nothing to do with this.
You took the words right out of my mouth. But he wasn't that good. I mean, it would be fun to see maybe just Triple H, a disgruntled Triple H is just like, do whatever the heck you want. I don't care anymore.
Well, didn't they kind of have that happen with the walkout from the No Confidence a while back? Oh wait, we're supposed to forget that happened because it's been more than a month ago.
Then why didn't they do that with the Authority? If they forgot, they could just walk out.
Well, they've done the walkout thing before. They've already given both Vince McMahon and Triple H votes of no confidence, if you remember that from a little while back.
But the thing is, though, I sort of don't want to see
that was the same night that CM Punk got to do commentary.
Do I get to wear your blazer? You can even wear your blazer.
I'm in.
It was like watching a little kid just like, I'm in.
Yeah, a little kid right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Dropping all the pipe bombs.
Do I get to cut the tree down? Yeah. I'm in. Yeah. Before Christmas? Yeah. Tough
I don't
crowd.
know.
Wow. Okay.
So was I supposed to give a rim shot on that? Where am I going with this?
Anyway, it was a good way to end Raw, though, because Orton comes in to the Authority's office and he says, look, if you don't take care of this, then I will. And give me a match with Seth Rollins and Triple H. We can't afford to have you two fighting. But he buckles and goes, fine, I'll give you your match. But after this, you got to promise me that this will stop. That you guys will focus on beating Cena at Survivor Series. And they said yes. Seth Rollins ends up winning the match. And you see Seth Rollins and them shake hands. He's like, I'm sorry. I apologize. And see Orton go, yeah, it's about that. I'm sorry, too. RKO again.
Out of nowhere.
We're seeing a Randy Orton face turn, and it really... Triple H at this point, Steph's yelling in his ear, you got to finish this. And he's like, finish it. Finish.
What is this, Mortal Kombat?
Finish him. I don't know. Maybe. But, it was a very interesting...
Would that make... You know what? I'm going to withdraw that question before I even put it out there.
But the thing with you, I
like staying on the air.
So do I. I like Steph's character with the Authority because she's finally found out her niche as her character, what she's supposed to be. And I like it too much for her to, all of a sudden just be done with it. Like with the Steph T-shirt and all that. Oh my God, we've had so many good quips from Stephanie McMahon.
It has been said over the years of wrestling that the best characters are people with their own personalities turned up to 11. Stephanie is at her best when I presume she's playing herself, which, as Brie Bella has said on a few occasions, is a bitch. And just turn that up to 11, and that's where you get your best Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
The snarkiness, believe me, I can appreciate some good snark.
Payback's a bitch, John, but so am I.
Exactly.
One of the best lines. And
yes, getting on to the end of this rather quickly. So the Authorities subdues Orton after hitting that RKO. Rollins hits a couple of curb stomps, and Orton's now going off, allegedly, to film his new movie, The Condemned 2.
The Condemned 2? Like the Austin movie?
The sequel to the Austin movie. Because they already tried Orton in a Marine movie, and the actual Marines told him, no, we're not having this.
Yeah, he went AWOL twice.
Exactly. There was a big to-do about that a while ago. All right, let's get to the phones. Ed's been hanging on for a while. Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. Have some bad news.
Oh, you've got some bad news, too?
Yeah. Royal Rumble tickets are officially sold out.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that in a little bit, but beating me to the punch here, like the song of the same name from back in the early 60s. Tickets for the 2015 Royal Rumble seem to have sold out. Roughly 15 to 30 minutes after tickets went on sale to the general public last Saturday morning, the event sold out. The Rumble will be held January 25th at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. The reason for the quick sellout would probably be because most of the tickets were already sold in not one, but two pre-sales that occurred before the public sale date of last Saturday, November 1st. One was held the night of the announcement at the Smackdown taping in Philadelphia on October 7th, and the other started Thursday, October 30th, and ended Halloween night. So you figure if, let's say, the capacity is 20,000, if 16 or 17,000 of those already sold, and there were only 3,000 left to go by the time they released it last week.
I should have gotten that right.
Yeah, it's I'm sure. Unfortunately, I'm sure there's some secondary markets that'll probably be selling them. Unfortunately, it's a mess.
I usually wait. This is what I got.
Yeah, well, that is some bad news. But I mean, if you're looking to make a road trip, I guess the good news the counter to that, the on-sale date has been announced for WrestleMania 31 tickets, if you feel like going out to NoCal in early April.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, WWE announcing that tickets for WrestleMania 31 will go on sale next Saturday, November 15th at 12 Eastern, right around the same time that Pro Wrestling Weekly will be broadcasting live from Sinemania. Conspiracy? I don't know.
I'll probably be up there.
Oh, getting the tickets or up at Sinemania? Or both. Who knows? Well, with the advent of the internet, you could possibly do both.
and I'll be at the House of Hardcore show.
Yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about that that and Sinemania later as well. Got some updates on both of those for you.
Is it true that we might be getting WrestleMania here? I keep looking at that clip from Rock and Triple H.
Well, the rumor with that was Philadelphia was initially in, I guess, the final bid. It's amazing how cities for hosting WrestleMania have become akin to hosting the Super Bowl or hosting the Olympics, that there are bids put in place by the different cities to try to convince WWE, hey, our city will be great to host WrestleMania. And Philadelphia was rumored to be in the final two and lost out to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California.
Every time I see that clip, I'm wondering, I'm getting convinced that we might be hosting it.
Well, I don't know. The other long-standing rumor is WrestleMania 32 in 2016. WWE has been pushing hard to get that in Jerry Jones's Palace in Dallas, that 100,000-seat stadium down in Dallas, Texas, or suburban Dallas, Texas, so he can have his 6-digit attendance WrestleMania and surpass the infamous 93,173 from WrestleMania 3. Whether that comes to fruition, who knows? It would have already happened, but that particular venue has signed a contract with the NCAA to host the Final Four the last few years, so that's why that hasn't occurred yet.
That's about it. Is TNA doing any TV tapings?
Nothing has been announced, and that's a little worrisome because TNA doesn't really have they don't have too many more of their pre-taped shows left in the can. They've already run through most of them. Thanks so much for the call. We're up against an ad break, Ed, but yeah, Spike TV actually listing a movie in Impact's time slot later this month. That's right, Spike TV listing the movie End of Watch in TNA Impact's usual Wednesday night slot on November 26th, which would be the day before Thanksgiving and is around the time TNA is expected to have run out of those pre-taped shows with no new shows on the horizon. Nothing announced as far as tapings of TV or any other nature, any other live shows, and a lot of the TNA talent have been taking independent bookings. I don't want to say that this is it for TNA, but it's not looking good right now. Nothing to add?
Yeah.
Well, Lucas pretty much shows where his...
I'm just excited that we're going to meet the Hardy Boys on. That's as far as and Austin Aries. That's as far as TNA goes for me, and Bully Ray.
Yep, and we'll talk about all those coming up on the other side. Of course, we mentioned the dark side earlier, and John from Northeast Philly has a picture of what looks like Stewie Griffin in the Darth Vader outfit saying, "Come to the dark side, we have cookies."
All I got was a stupid T-shirt.
I don't get that reference. Maybe you'll have to explain it to me.
There was a shirt called "I Went to the Dark Side and all I got was a stupid T-shirt."
Ah.
Or I joined the dark side, you know.
And yet another joke that I can't tell on the air. So I'll tell it to Lucas off the air.
I think I know what you're going.
And we'll come back and we'll talk a little Sinomania. We'll talk House of Hardcore as mentioned. Got some more news and notes. Birthdays, a couple of interesting ones. Today in wrestling history, a lot more to do still as we make our way to 1 o'clock. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 AM WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 8. On this date in 1997, ECW held its Ultimate Jeopardy Supercard. In the main event, Taz and Tommy Dreamer defeated Rob Van Dam and Sabu in a tag team match. On this date in 1999, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Indianapolis, Indiana. In the main event, Scott Hall defeated Bret Hart, Goldberg, and Sid Vicious in a four-way ladder match to win the United States Championship. On this date in 2010, WWE Monday Night Raw aired from Manchester, England. In the main event, Heath Slater, Husky Harris, Justin Gabriel, Michael McGillicuddy, and Wade Barrett defeated Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry, R-Truth, Randy Orton, and The Miz in a 10-man tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 8. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here alongside a perplexed-looking Lucas the Intern. Thrown off a bit by that Manchester main event from a few years ago? The 10-man tag?
Yeah, a little bit.
I know. I forgot
it's
who
an odd team. No,
I forgot who Husky Harris was.
I know who that is. It was just an odd team on the part of Team WWE. That was a downfall of the Nexus storyline, which was sad because it was such a good storyline, and then they split it up and made the core and the new Nexus. While this did start CM Punk's
your boy, yep,
start his rivalry with John Cena afterwards. It just really. And the whole Nexus thing was a great angle. I thought it was one of my favorite storylines when I was watching wrestling.
but it, like a lot of things, has cooled off. Speaking of 10-man tags, getting back to Survivor Series, Eric from the Minnesota Wrecking Crew posting on the Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page, Cena should get both Fearon and Lucas on his team. Why not? Well, in my case, it's probably because I have the physique of Bastion Booger.
Oh, you're not. No, you don't. Stop it. Bastion Booger was very, very, very.
And at this point, running on minimal sleep, probably the same odiously odoriferous olfactory emanations as well.
Oh no! Just put me in the ring. The intern's running wild.
Well, true. You've got more energy at times than the Ultimate Warrior and Hogan on a vitamin binge.
Speaking of intern, I feel like we should debut that whole intern facepalm of the week. I feel like
that you ran by me about 2 seconds before we started the show today, or no, that was the thing from last week, and I ended up
and you said
slagging
next week.
you off about it. Okay.
So
is this what you did that you're face palming? What you did that I'm face palming?
It could be anything that I face palm, but this had to do with me. Actually, you would probably be face palming. It was.
I already am.
It was the football game a couple weeks ago. It was a home game, and what the cheerleaders do is they have for all the senior football players, they bring like goodie bags for them and put them by the locker while they're out doing like practice run-throughs. They're running through the plays. I'm sitting in the locker room reading a Walking Dead comic, and it's not a plug, just facts. And these three very attractive cheerleaders walk in the room, and they're like, "Oh hey," I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" I knew a couple of them, and
is there a point to this?
Really? I'm getting to it.
I was gonna say it's only an hour show.
Yeah, thanks, Fearon. I know. Sure, and they couldn't. A couple of them couldn't figure out where the lockers were, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Lucas, do you know where the lockers are?" And they all basically just crowded around me, and I heard like, "Do you know where the lockers are?" All I heard was, just crows cawing and stuff like that, and I got so.
I was gonna say the Red Rooster was there.
I got so overwhelmed that I just took the Paul Heyman round. Like, I'm just an advocate. I'm just an advocate. Which confused them and gave me enough time to grab my bag and run to the bathroom. It was a coincidence that I had to go at that point. Thank God it gave me an excuse. It was just a very, fun moment. I'm just an advocate, and they like, what is he saying? Is he okay? Is he special? Is this what's going on? And
Oh, son of a.
Okay, fine. I guess
I don't know where to go with this.
You could have face palmed. I mean, that was the right moment to.
Yes, but a face palm is a visual. We are on radio.
I know that. You could still face palm, and everybody else, the viewers, could face palm too.
Well, the problem is the sound of a face palm also sounds very similar to the sound of a slap, and I don't want people thinking that I'm keeping my my Godfather hand strong.
See, I'm face palming right now, Fearon, as you can see. Let's just forget about that. Thought it was funny.
It was. I wasn't quite sure where it was going. That's all.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Well,
I do know where we're going, however. Next week. That's right. Sinomania 8. 1 week away, next Saturday, November 15th, at Bucks County Technical High School, 610 Worcester Road in Fairless Hills, PA. The announced guests so far, there's a litany of them.
Yeah.
Probably take most of the rest of the hour to get. No. Former WWF Tag Team Champions Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
You're looking forward to that. The Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott.
Nice.
Big Papa Pump, Mr. 141 2/3% in the house.
That was another moment I wanted to share, but keep going. All
right. Former WWE superstar, previously known as Alberto Del Rio, who I think just did a shoot interview last night for RF Video.
Really?
Yeah. That'll be.
Is he already in town, or?
Well, they went up to the big event up in Flushing, New York today. Yeah, a couple of the names who were here at Sinomania went up to that earlier today and are currently there. King Kong Bundy, Stevie Richards, Sid Vicious, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs, the Nasty Boys, former guests of Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Nice.
Kurt Hawkins, the Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Nice.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Rick Rod.
Yes, with his 85 Datsun. Loved that spot from the Rumble a couple years ago. ECW's Sabu, longtime WWE announcer Howard Finkel.
The Fink. Yeah,
the Boogeyman. He's coming to get you. The Blue Meanie. Gail Kim, Velvet Sky.
Nice.
Bully Ray, Rob Van Dam.
Nice.
Drew McIntyre, well, formerly known as Drew McIntyre, Drew Galloway as he's now known. Former WWF Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash of Demolition.
Nice, brah. Just have a stroke?
No, that's Smash's face whenever Axe was cutting a promo.
It looked like he was in pain.
We'll go over it later.
No, we don't.
Or just look at OSW review. Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Ethan Carter III. Mm-hmm. Nick Dinsmore, formerly known as Eugene, and WWE Hall of Famer Nikolai Volkov.
Nice.
Also, TNA knockout Angelina Love, former WWE and TNA referee Earl Hebner.
Nice.
WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Nice.
And also added Austin Aries.
The greatest man that ever lived.
Ah, yes. I forgot that was a thing, a line.
Or as I like to call, he was TNA's CM Punk, basically.
The listeners are face palming, says John from Northeast Philly.
Thank you, John.
And he has the picture of Picard up on the WBCD Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page.
Thank God.
I guess just in case you didn't know what was going on with that, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. So, yeah, Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Austin Aries, the big addition, heading into it for next week. And we'll be there.
Yeah.
That's the other biggie. We'll be there from noon to 1, broadcasting live. We'll be milling about in our BCB swag beforehand and afterhand.
Don't ever say swag again, please.
Well, we don't have any BCB bling.
Don't say... Bling is a lot better than swag. That's all I'm saying.
Isn't that what the cool kids say these days?
Nobody's cool if they say swag in my book.
Yeah, but your book's missing a few pages.
That is very true, but at the same time, just please don't say swag, don't say YOLO. I'm probably gonna.
All right, I'm not a fan of the YOLO. I'll give you that. Carpe diem all the way.
Makes me sick. Just say you only live once, you illiterate teenagers. Hashtag flag. Just stop it.
Is this the Lucas rant of the week? The interns.
I'm going Angelo Cataldi on this, okay? Just.
Oh, no. We're going to get letters. Check out George's 3 locations for all your sports and wrestling memorabilia needs while Lucas calms himself. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Oxford Valley Mall in the Sears Court on the lower level, and their newest location in the Chamonix Mall in the movie theater wing. For more information on Sinomania 8, give George's a call at 215-943-2475 or visit them on the web at georgescollectibles.com. You can also see a list of pricing at sinomania.com. Also, as if all that wasn't enough, later that night at 7 o'clock, House of Hardcore 7 will be at the 2300 Arena.
ECW.
Formerly known as the ECW Arena in South Philadelphia. The show will feature a meet and greet at 6 p.m., and the action starts at 7. Matches include the Wolves against Harry Smith and Lance Archer. Nice. TNA's Austin Aries facing Drew Galloway. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Ethan Carter III against Tommy Dreamer with Beulah McGillicuddy in an old-school Extreme Rules match.
He's going to get messed up.
And in tag team action, this I'm looking forward to. The Hardys take on the Young Bucks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Haven't seen the Young Bucks yet.
Yeah, they're an exciting, entertaining, and antagonizing team, to say the least. Also appearing, to give you an idea, the last time I saw them, I think it was at House of Hardcore, I think it was 2. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that. When it was at the Armory Guard, they came to the ring, their entrance theme
was loaded?
No, their entrance theme was Mbop by Hanson.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Be glad. Be very glad. That may have to...
Is it like a Screamo song, or?
No. Hanson was there are three brothers, not to be confused with the movie Slapshot. Three brothers who at the time that they were big in 97-ish, they were all like teenaged. They're 16, 14.
Was it a boy band?
I guess you could say so, but they actually had musical talent. But they were in the pop scene, and I'll play the song for you after we get off the air because I don't want to torture.
How are the Young Bucks exactly dressed? They're not dressed like. What's their gimmick exactly?
Well, I mean, they've changed it up a little bit since. Well, some internet smarks would probably say that their gimmick is super kicks because they do about 30 of them a match.
What's wrong with that? Come on, super kick's a fun move.
Moving back into getting away from that tangent. Also appearing at the show, Gail Kim, Velvet Sky, C.W. Anderson, and more. For tickets and more information.
Anderson?
Huh?
Who's C.W. Anderson?
He's big in the Northeast independent scene. He's done some shows here locally.
Is he a wrestler? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looks a lot like the Minnesota Andersons. I think he might be related. Like Arn Anderson and, Arn, Ole, yeah.
Okay. See, I heard Minnesota Andersons. I'm like, I'm going to get...
Who? Yeah.
I know Arn Anderson is.
Mm-hmm.
The Enforcer.
Mm-hmm. And Ole was part of the original Four Horsemen.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it was Flair, Arn, Tully Blanchard, and Ole Anderson.
Huh.
Another Educate
Then they
the
brought in
Intern
Barry
segment.
Windham, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we'll go over the chronology of the Horsemen another time. Anyway, for tickets and more information, go to houseofhardcore.net. All right, we've got a couple minutes here before we make our way for Nick Cataldi and country music. Birthdays. Oh, we got a couple of doozies. One, in fact, would be a very rich birthday, to say the least. 1982, former two-time WWE Tag Team Champion and former $1 Million champion, Ted DiBiase Jr. Jr., not senior, turns 30. I was going to say, Ted DiBiase Sr., if he was born in 82, I mean, he would have been, 6 years old when his main event run.
I'm sorry. I was sorry.
You jumped the gun because you heard $1 Million champion.
Yeah.
Although Virgil's a former $1 Million champion.
Yeah.
And so is Steve Austin.
Tenors.
I don't know if you knew that or
not. Tenors, and tenors.
Indeed. Ted DiBiase Jr. turning 32 today. And 1950, this is a stretch, guest interviewer and timekeeper for the WrestleMania 3 main event between Hogan and Andre, and former longtime Entertainment Tonight host Mary Hart turns 64 today. A little wrestling celebrity crossover. Yeah.
Nice.
She obviously did a lot of stories over the years with Entertainment Tonight that involved the WWF, WWE. Before, I guess she left maybe a year or so ago after spending, I think, 29 years on Entertainment Tonight. That's a long time. I mean, you talk about Bobby Heenan as a broadcast journalist. She is one of the creams of the crop as far as broadcast journalism goes.
Nice.
Legit or illegit or otherwise.
Well.
Oh, goodness. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I don't know. Do we want to talk? Well,
where do we go?
I know where we go. Well, Matt and Jeff Hardy, they won the tournament finals to become the #1 contenders to the TNA tag titles for the
against the Wolves.
700 some odd thousand people who were still watching TNA.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I know we talked Survivor Series a little bit. So far, it looks like Cena and Ziggler are in for Team Cena, and Seth Rollins and Kane are in for Team Authority, and that's about all we got so far. I would imagine Rusev will probably, I don't know, who will he defend the U.S. title against? Will it be a rematch against Sheamus?
I would imagine either that or maybe we'll hear dun 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 dun. We the people. You know, hopefully Jack Swagger.
True, we haven't heard from Swagger in a little while. I don't know, maybe he's still nursing him
finally
his
be the one to end Rusev's reign of tyranny. Tune in to Survivor.
It's been a while since we've heard from good old Zeb.
Well, let me tell you something.
You would think with Election Day that just occurred, you'd think that Zeb would have had a more prominent role on television, but I guess
Wonder if he was on Smackdown.
I don't know.
Considering election,
Maybe
day
he was
on
busy
TV.
smacking down his vote.
Very, very good. Very good.
Well, that was a campaign back a little while ago.
Was it for
Oh no, it was to get people to go out and vote.
I wanted to make because people are all over Snapchat with like a sticker on their. I guess you can put stickers on Snapchat or something like that. Just something on their snaps that said "I voted." So I wanted to make a poster and put it up and say "I voted" on the WWE app, just to,
Well, that would have been a great time to have either a Cyber Sunday or a Taboo Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah.
But alas, no, they've got enough pay-per-views as it is. That's why they had to back off from 16 in 2006, I think.
How are they going to do that?
Well, they've cut it down to 12.
Was that when they had?
Well, that was when they had New Year's resolution or revolution and Cyber or Taboo Tuesday, and I think that was the same year.
Review?
Yes, it was. As was ECW's December to Dismember. That nonsense. I know. That's better left for another day. If you want to take a look at that, though, look up OSW Review. They just did a review on December to Dismember.
They're a funny bunch of lads. They are.
They are. And they're definitely not safe for radio. And neither will we be unless we get out of here. So stay tuned. Nick Cataldi is next with country music, and he's got you from 1 until 6 o'clock here on 1490. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490.